Okay, I'm at 4688 Kirby Avenue in Northside, Cincinnati, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for mainly structural issues, essentially anything that would be concerning to the buyer. The access is an outside clean out, just about a foot off the front of the house, maybe 7-8 feet to the left of the front door. And normally these are the bathroom is just on the other side of the wall, so there's a short, maybe a very short distance of pipe as it goes through the foundation, but there is no access on the inside of the house that would allow us to inspect that. And most of the time these are sweeps. As we go down, it forces the camera to go downstream, so you can't go both directions. It's normal. But this is cast iron, which is not a bad material, but it does rust, so something that you do want to pay attention to. As far as cast iron's a lot more likely to have like soft clogs, catch toilet paper and stuff like that because of how rough the inside of the pipe is. So I always tend to mention that to make sure you're not using wet wipes and your paper towels or feminine products, putting them down there, because they have a lot higher chance of clogging the line. So immediately after you get past the clean out here, it does switch to clay, which is, again, it's normal. It does look like there's a little bit of root intrusion, but it's really hard to see because of the camera's got some stuff on the front of it. So we'll try to go out, and if nothing else, we'll try to rinse it off, and we'll also turn the water on a little bit so we can hopefully witness how the line is functioning. But you can see in the bottom left hand corner it shows how the angle of the camera, and we are hanging vertically. It should turn and go horizontal again towards the... May have to try to get a running start on this. Okay, I'm going to have to turn some water on, see if we can get a picture of this, because I'm going to have to pause the video here and turn some water on and see if I can get a little bit better visual of what's going on here. Okay, we're running some water. It looks like I am back horizontal, but I'm actually, like, it got to the bottom and now it's almost pointed up. Ooh. It is not moving. I'm going to pause the video again. Looks like we may not be able to get past this point. I'm going to see if we can figure out what this is, because the water is sitting stagnant. But I'm going to try to figure out what direction the camera's laying and how it's laying. Okay, I'm not really sure why the line does not want to, or why the camera doesn't want to proceed. It looked like I could see a little bit of a blockage without the water there, but I couldn't tell. going to go in and turn the water back off and then see if we can get this to clear up a little bit after a second. Okay, I'm going to pull the camera back and see if we can get this to clear up enough to where I can see when I get to the bottom of this. Because it seems like it goes out and it drops straight off. But it doesn't seem see if you can see that. It looks like concrete, but it looks like there is a buildup right in front of the camera, and that's the direction the camera needs to go. Looks like it's just, I think that's the problem. I think we've got, could be root intrusion that's just caught a bunch of grease. But we're right up against a large blockage, so I think what's going to need to happen is it's going to have to be cleaned and re-inspected to, because it does seem like the water itself is getting out, but there's a big blockage right at the base. You can see that the camera is facing, sitting at a 27-degree angle straight up, whereas I just came down at a 90-degree angle almost to hit the bottom of the pipe and come back up. And so this is, once you hit it and then you come back out of this spot, and so it's hard to tell what's going on. I'm going to pull back to the top of the turn. I may end up trying to put the small camera through it to see if I get any better visuals, but it looks to me like there's a blockage out about 21 feet, right in front of the camera, and it's hard to tell whether it is just a regular blockage or if the pipe is gone. There was a lot of rocks in there, and it's really, once we pull back just a hair, it goes back underwater. Water is escaping somewhere. And here it was from the beginning. When we got in, there's some root intrusion right after you go through the clean out, but the worst is about 21 feet where we just cannot get past it due to some form of blockage. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to make a switch and get a different camera and see if that helps get through that area. Okay, I made a switch to a smaller diameter camera. It's a little flimsier, but I'm hoping that maybe that'll give us a little bit of help. But of course, this one does not have an angle indicator on it. It's a smaller camera, but you can tell that we are dropping off now at about a 90-degree angle. But we can never see, because as soon as, see if you look, it's really hard to see there, but I believe that that is a big rock off to the left. But whenever you go vertical like this, yep, I think the line is broke, and that this is just a spot where you can see a rock in it, or the line is broken, you're seeing the rock around it. And so this is where we're having a, if you look off in the top of the screen, you kind of see flashes of it. It's really hard, but it looks like it could either be rocks in the line or exposed rocks from a broken pipe. But either way, that would need to be dug up because you're not going to break that rock up with a machine, that's for sure. I'm going to have to pull back to where the line is horizontal to be able to get an accurate locate and then be able to locate it and then mark it a little bit forward of where the mark will be, is where the and a few feet deeper, obviously, because this is dropping off at a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to pause the video, we're going to locate this spot, and we'll go from there. Alright.
I think it's worth trying. Yeah, well, I'm sure I'll get your scope up. Exactly what is anything broke? I guess the rock went through the pipe.
It looks like it. Looks like there's a pipe, and that's what we're trying. I'm trying to get a really good angle on it, but it's really hard. Yeah, here we go. Here's a good. So, sorry, we're discussing this around us, but you can see as my camera's laying vertically right now, and you can see the rocks around the base of it. So it looks like the line is broke, and that's where the rocks have gotten in.
Okay.
So there's no way for my camera to get past this. The line is shifted, and so there's exposed rock and stuff down in the line. So I'm going to see if I can at least mark the placement of this. It's a little harder because of the with the camera being vertical, it doesn't locate properly. But I will try to mark vertical and give it a little bit more accurate look at where it is and how deep it is. So I'm going to pause the video again for locate. Okay, so this is marked. It's about 5 feet deep, and so it's marked. I'm going to recommend that the line be dug up, repaired, and then you'll want to have the rest of the line inspected, just to be sure that what the shape of the rest of the line is in, because we're only able to inspect like 15 feet. I think it's about 14 feet on this camera, and on the other one it was reading at about 20 feet. But this is all, the footage is all counted by the rotation of the drum, so it's not the most accurate. The green marks with the flag in the yard is where the problem is. But I also believe that there is a spot up in here where water is it's creating a sinkhole right here. Also, you can see there's a spot right on the top, and of course now the camera's going to be a little hazy, but I think it's allowing water in. There's a sinkhole that we've uncovered with a bunch of rock that's right there at the top, and so it's letting in water here, and maybe that could be part of it. That there's a hole in the line right around in there. Just the camera doesn't want to get it good. There we go. You can see on the top left part of the screen there's also I believe that there's a hole in the line there, drawing earth in and causing a sinkhole right next to the front porch. So 10 feet and 14 feet. That's as far we could get. So I'm going to recommend that the line be dug up, repaired, and a follow-up inspection performed to check the rest of the line. Being that we really didn't get very far, it's a little disappointing, but that's what we're here for. So again, I'm just going to recommend the line be dug up where it is marked, and then after the line is repaired or while it is open, inspecting the rest of the line to look for any other issues between there and the main, to make sure that the rest of the line is in good shape. So that'll end the inspection at 4688 Kirby Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio.